Hello, my name's Chuck Hinckley, and I've been in the power business for over 30 years. Started off in the gas turbine business and as an engineer, operating, maintaining, designing, building gas turbine combined cycle power projects here in the United States and abroad. I started off with GE, some other companies, GE Capital. Um, And I've spent most of the last 20 years in wind and solar, either as a developer or as a financial advisor. It's a field I know well, and I'm just getting out of working on a few projects, and want to say some words that I hope would be helpful to landowners, mostly governmental officials, and developers of wind power projects. I'm going to break this into a series of 4 videos. This first video being introductory, the second video being about the economics of wind, solar versus a farming use. The third video will be why fortune may not knock twice. That is, why is the wind or solar developer knocking on the landowner's door? And finally, the fourth video will hope to put forth a context and a methodology for landowners to use to assess whether this financial proposition is a good thing for them and their families or not. So my main observation, and I'm going to, as part of these introductory remarks, is wow, what a group of two different people trying to communicate with each other. On the one hand, you have the landowner, a farmer. Usually the property's been in the family for generations. There may be the expectation that the land will continue to be in the family for generations. And that particular landowner or farmer has on his mind his farming operation, what that farming operation means to him and his family from a generational perspective, and what that farming operation means for his and his family's position in their community and their lifestyle. It's a way of life. That's one guy. That's one side, the landowner side. Now, I will note that when I mean landowner and farmer, there are really three very distinct categories. And we'll get into this when we get into the analysis in video 4. The first are the people who own the land and possibly owned it generationally, but they don't farm the land. They just collect rent from a tenant farmer. That's about half the land in Illinois or Indiana or Ohio. So it's a significant piece of the population. The other half are farmers that own the land and farm for themselves, their own property. And then the third group are the tenant farmers. On the other hand, you have the wind or solar developer, and they really want to get control of your land for the wind or solar use. They're in a big hurry. They're under massive time pressure. They maybe work for a U.S. company. Maybe they work for a foreign company. And here they are. I'm just making up the worst case, knocking on your door, the agent of some Japanese company wanting to put Chinese solar panels on your property and have you say yes to that immediately. On the face of it, that just sounds ridiculous. And it kind of is. So I claim we have these two groups of people coming from radically different perspectives. However, it's in the landowner and their community's best interest to settle down and make a proper commercial and lifestyle analysis of whether something is being offered they should say yes to. Okay, so next video we'll talk about the just farm economics, like just is this a compelling financial offer, and secondarily, what's reasonable. So I do think one of the problems that faces the landowners is they have an offer. Can they get another offer? What's the fair price? I'm going to put that in a little bit of perspective for you. So hope you haven't fallen asleep and have an interest in understanding the economics of the typical solar lease, very similar to the economics of a wind lease for agricultural America, which is the source of the subject of the next video. Thanks for listening and have a good evening.